Hello, now we're going to look at genetic engineering. So, firstly there's several issues that we need to be considering when we look at the key terms. 1. There is genetic engineering, which is the idea that you are deliberately manipulating genes or organisms in order to improve them. There are several topics that we look at of genetic engineering. One is the idea of embryo research. This is when someone is researching on human embryos or on hybrid embryos, which is a combination of human embryos and animal embryos, to try to make scientific advancements that could save lives or cure cancer or stop someone being bald, like me. Another example of genetic engineering that we might find ourselves looking at is somatic cell therapy. This is when someone uses adult cells, such as my arm cells, or such as cells from my hand or my hair, to create, to help cure to replace defective genes within the body. So let's say, for example, I'm losing some skin. I could use the somatic cells from somatic cell therapy to help repair the scars on my skin. Another type of genetic engineering we're going to look at is designer babies. This is not babies that carry handbags. Rather, these are babies that are designed by parents. Now, a big example of this might be when someone is like, I would like a baby that looks Vietnamese and looks half Vietnamese and half Ghanaian. So I myself have very few genes that are Vietnamese nor Ghanaian. The most Ghanaian, so as a result, this means that if I was to to design my baby to be half Vietnamese and half Ghanaian, that would be a bit weird, but it could be done through genetic engineering. Secondly, another more important example of designer babies might be, let's say I've got a serious disease. Let's say I've got something like sickle cell anemia, or I have something like examples of heart attacks happening to me, or I have hereditary baldness. I would not want to pass that on to my child. So if I have any of these issues, I could then choose to have my baby designed in a way where they would not inherit those diseases that could make their life a bit easier, or, in some circumstances, even save their lives. Another example of genetic engineering is savior siblings. This is when, let's say, I have one child, and they have a disease, and only my family genes can help save that child. I might then do genetic engineering in my second child to ensure that that child has the genes that could save their brother or sister. This is what's called a savior sibling. Savior sibling, someone saving the day. Another example of genetic engineering is cloning. There are two types of cloning. One is reproductive cloning, so I might reproduce this thumb and make another thumb that's exactly the same. Or I might reproduce another person. Can you imagine if you were taught by two Mr. Lanes? If you're being taught by me right now, that's kind of the case. Hi, we're clones. Well, we're not really, but if I was to do reproductive cloning, that would be the case. Another example of this could also be cloning of vegetables, cloning of food that could help save issues like world hunger. Another example of cloning, our last example of cloning, is therapeutic cloning. So this is when I'm choosing to do cloning, for example, of a human embryo to help cure a disease. So yeah, I don't want to destroy 55 embryos, so I'm going to take one embryo, clone it, 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 all over the place. And then all these cloned embryos I can do my special research on, and through that research I can help cure diseases like motor neuron disease, diseases like Parkinson's disease, diseases like hereditary baldness, and as a result that could help save huge amounts of lives and also a huge amount of hairlines. So this would be another example of cloning. So our key terms, we've got therapeutic cloning, we have reproductive cloning, we have savior siblings, we have designer babies, we have somatic cell therapy, we have hybrid embryos, we have embryo research, and all of these are examples of genetic engineering. Lot to stomach there, but I think we'll be able to get through this very well.